Welcome, statisticians. This is an introduction video for introductory stats, 1350. I'm going to be going over the syllabus as well as how to get the book and some basic information for the course. Um, I know this is one of the more challenging courses for the college, but feel free to ask me questions. And as long as you are keeping up with it, putting in time every single week, you should be fine. There's a lot of assignments. That is something I am not in control of, but for all of them, I'm planning to make videos to go along with all the content in Canvas. So I'm going to show you how to access everything, and then I'll just give you basic information. But as I go through the content, I'm going to make sure that I show you exactly how to do everything by hand, so you're not just putting it into a computer program and then seeing how it works. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay. So the way to get to the course is you'd first log into your SFCC page, and we're going to go to Canvas, which is right here for online courses. And we're going to go down. You're either going to be in D1 or D2. Both courses are exactly the same. There were just so many students who signed up. I got the dean to agree to open a second one. So let's go into this D1 course. The best way to contact me is my email. If you want to be in my office hours, like if you want to meet in person, we can make that work. I'm just not going to be on campus a lot. Because it's the summer, but we can meet via Zoom. If you really want to meet in person, just shoot me an email. I'm sure we can work it out. And I'm totally fine with meeting people via Zoom. So I have some people from last course who were in async with me, and I did some meetings with them. So some information about myself. This is going to be my second semester here at SFCC. And I've got my master's and doctorate in math education, and I've been teaching math for about 10 years. So let's look at this syllabus. But again, just email me if you have any questions throughout the way. So the syllabus is pretty straightforward. Obviously, the most important thing is when the assignments are due, but it's a 3 credit course. It starts the 3rd, it ends the 27th. I've got everything opening on the 3rd and ending the 27th. That's the last day that your finals can be due. But obviously, I would not wait until that last day. You can start doing stuff right away. So this is the book you need to get, The Essentials of Statistics, the 7th edition. I would recommend getting the online version. You will need the My Math Lab. So if you get the My Math Lab, it comes with the textbooks. You don't have to buy both. I have a link here, which brings you to exactly how to get the book and how to set it up. You will need this book. If you don't have this book, you can't do the first test. You can't do the labs. Well, no, you can do the labs, but you can't do your first test and you can't do about half the assignments. So you will need to purchase this book. Okay. Laptop would be useful. What else? These are the major topics. We go from general stats all the way up to a one-way ANOVA. If you want to do stuff with past one-way ANOVA, like two-way ANOVA, or like a multiple linear regression instead of just like a regular regression, feel free to reach out to me. Or I actually made this layout where you can learn about any higher level statistics. So how are you graded? There's labs, there's a project, there's a final exam, there's quizzes and tests and homework. Um, this is the breakdown, 10% quizzes, 30% assignments, 10% for your project, 5% for discussions, 40% for the tests, and 5% for the labs. I didn't change it. This is basically just how like all the math classes here are. I just left it the same. How do you know how to get an A? Just get over 93%. How to make sure you pass? You have to get over 60%. What about late work? There's so many students in this course. I'm gonna need an email if you're turning stuff late. There's just so many assignments. And there's so many students in both of these sections. It's gonna be really hard for me to keep on top of it. I have them every Tuesday. So every Tuesday you'll have everything that's due for that week. It's probably going to be like five homeworks, a quiz, and a project, or five homeworks, a lab, and a test. There's a lot of stuff, but I have it set up so at the end of every week it's all due. About I'm expecting you not to cheat. I have ways and calculators to help you. I'm going to go through every one of these things step by step, but do your own work. If there's no work on the homework, if you're not showing me how you got your answers, I'm not really going to be able to give you credit. So show me as many steps as you can. These are the dates. The 27th is the last date, so that's how I made the final. I tried to put everything in between before that date. But yeah, it says it starts the 3rd. I have all of your work starting on the 4th and ending on the 27th. All right, so this is the breakdown of what's due. See the dates, it says it starts the 4th, ends the 10th. Okay, so that's your first week. What is due? Some introductory stuff. Let me get to know you a little bit better. You've got basically two full chapters of work. So that's 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 2.1, 2.2, and 2.3. I would not suggest leaving this all to that Tuesday. You're not going to get it done. It's going to be too hard for you to get it done. I would really recommend doing some stuff each day or every other day, and being ahead. Being ahead is going to help you out throughout this entire process. Where is all this work? Where are the projects, the labs, everything that you could possibly need for this? You would just go to modules. So if you go to modules, anything that's grayed out you can't see, but basically when you go in, you're going to see this getting started. The first thing is introductions, very easy, just a little blurb about yourself that like goes right to discussion points. There's a My Math Lab overview. I would do it just to get it. These StatCrunch videos now, you can use Excel or you can use StatCrunch. Now the videos they have in here, I'm not gonna say that they're terrible because they're pretty good. The problem is with these StatCrunch videos is that the operating system has changed a little bit. So I was going through all these, you see the red lines, I've been watching them and like trying to make sure I know exactly what to do with them. They're okay. I would watch them. I'm going to be making videos of how to do these by hand. I'll also be making videos on how to use it with StatCrunch when it's needed for homeworks. I would watch them. I would watch them while you have StatCrunch opened. How do you get to StatCrunch? It's just through the My Math Lab tool. So, but if you're in modules, I would just go through all whatever ones have a date on them. So 1.1 book assignment, that's like your first one, statistics and graphing. You click it. It's going to tell you exactly which problems you need to do. You can upload it. It says Word, Excel, or scan PDF document. I took that out. So if you just take a screenshot of a piece of paper, I will grade that. Any way you want to turn it in, if it's on Pages, if it's not one of these three, it's not going to knock you out. You're still going to get credit for it as long as you're showing me work. So how are the tests work? I'm sure that's important. So also the reviews and stuff. So we're still in chapter 1. So if we look at chapter 1 review, this is like one of the first things on My Math Lab. You'll see this little Pearson thing. As long as you bought the book, it'll open right up. and you'll see these problems should appear for you. You got all these problems to do, and you're going to get graded on them. And the first test is like that too. The first test, I made it so you can try it a couple times in case you needed to. But there's other parts. There's another test where it's just a PDF, so you have as much time as you want. For the first test, I gave you 3 hours, but I also gave you I also gave you for test one. You could take it multiple times. Let's say you really bomb it, study some more, take it again. I gave you 3 shots at test one. The other ones are PDFs, so there's just one shot because there's no time limit. Hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't and you have questions, just feel free to email me. See, it says attempt 03. You have 180 minutes. You can save this test and work on it later. The other ones are just PDFs and just write it out and then I'll grade it. Other things that you might need to know. So if you're in my math lab, this is where your textbook is. You've got all these other pieces, but there's just a lot here. I would just take your time, go through it, reach out for questions. Now, how am I going to attempt to make your life easier throughout like all of these assignments? So I emailed all of you this notebook. So it's called Notes. Basically, there's an introduction here, and I'm going to post this in an announcement so everybody has access to it. You're going to want to open it and just go to Intro to Stats. See how I already put 1.1 and 1.2. I'm just going to go through all the content. I'm going to make you videos. I know this stuff is hard. There's videos in there. They're just old. I'm not going to say they're bad. I think they're fine. I'm just going to make my own for all of the stuff from 1.1 all the way to the end. So there's going to be like a ton of videos. But as I'm doing the videos, I will be writing this out. I will be showing you exactly how to do either whether it's a box plot, whether it's a confidence interval, whether it's a normal distribution, whether we're doing z-scores, whether I'm showing you how to do ANOVAs, whatever it is, I will be writing the notes directly in here, and they'll be all based on the section. I think that's going to be the best way to help you out. Now, if there's a project or something in here that you're not quite sure how to attack, so let's say the lab's really messing you up, just shoot me an email. We could either meet in person or I could make the labs too. But my plan was to do all of these numbers. So number 1.1 all the way to number 11.3. So I'll at least show you how to do the homework problems because I think that's most important. The quiz you'll have to do yourself, but if everybody bombs the quiz, guess what? I'll make a video for the quiz. That's the way that I'm going to do it. Now, some more information just to make sure you're feeling confident. So I think one of the biggest problems with statistics is you just put something into a program like StatCrunch, spits out your ANOVA answer, but you have no idea what happened. So I made this project, which could just basically be your whole course if it really wanted to be. But if you want to do it, look through this, it will really help you out. So this goes through everything with finding articles, like how to use Google Scholar to find like good research articles. And then once you have your article, like you get to vet it and see like how good the resource was by figuring out how many times it was cited. Like this is all stuff that's really useful in understanding how articles work. And then you get to evaluate the article. Now, the important part for you in this course is rating the results section, because every research article has some sort of results section. And your job is like, can you actually write it up or understand what it says? So this goes through every type of statistical analysis from simple linear regressions, multiple linear regressions, hierarchical one sample t-test, two sample t-test, paired t-tests, chi-squared tests, ANOVAs, two-way ANOVAs, and then I think I have MANCOVA in here. Yeah, an ANCOVA here. So, and there's a MANOVA. So what is in here? So no matter what test, what statistical analysis that they're trying to do to prove their point, you'll get to see how it's done by hand. You're going to get an explanation, a step-by-step of this done by hand, a video of it, and then how the results statement's done. And then you get to try your own problem and check your work with a calculator. It's for each one of these. So you could do it for what we're doing in our class. I think chi-squared is the first one we're doing. So if you want to look at the chi-squared one, you can right here. But the good thing about it has the calculator to check your work. It shows you exactly how it's written in a result statement and all of that. Now, let's say this isn't useful for you, or the way that I'm explaining it isn't useful for you. I also have a link here to probably the best YouTuber for stats. His name is the Organic Chemistry Teacher. So you could always watch his videos. There's a list of these videos on the side, which goes through frequency tables and just a whole bunch of stuff. Mean, median, mode, arithmetic means, distributions, stem and leaf plots. Like most of this stuff is the stuff that we're doing in this course. So if anything isn't making sense that I'm saying, or if the book's not making sense, or if you just need somebody else's way of seeing it, I would highly recommend you using this resource to help you. Now, what am I trying to say? Just don't freak out about it. Take your time. If you put in the time, everybody's going to pass and do well. You should have got this sent to you, this notes book. If you didn't, I'm going to post this in announcements. I'll also post this video in announcements. But good luck with everything. And let me know if you have any questions along the way. I know there's a ton of students in both of these sections, so just bear with my emails. It'll probably take me like a day, maybe 2 days for emails. But good luck. Looking forward to everybody in the course, and take it easy.